For my triangle here. We'll get that back up. In the meantime, I guess it was 3 Tuesdays ago that we were here. I kind of knocked us out of a couple weeks there. So did you get a chance to think through those questions, those discussion questions? I've got some copies of... You've got it there? Okay. So what kind of what resonated with you in these questions?
Just because you had a really soul search, and then you realize how you are.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
Can you clean up that way?
yeah, for me, I have a lot of work to do.
So did that resonate that sometimes my life reflects Jesus, but sometimes it reflects more of the culture that I'm a part of?
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good balance.
Yeah. And I mean, it's true for all of us. And when I first began to learn this, I think what impacted me so deeply was, I've had moments where I've reflected upon, in depth, upon the life of Jesus, what he did, how he offered himself for us on the cross, and yet my life is also shaped by other things, and so one of the things that, as I said, impacted me so deeply here was to realize that I didn't have to allow my past to inform my future, that I could begin, and really through a transformational experience. For me, it was life-changing. And I'm a lifelong Christian, I'm a pastor. But when I first experienced the power of Jesus impacting and shaping my life, it was monumental. And I think I shared the story of sitting in the couch doing my devotions one morning, and Patty looking over at me, and she says, "You're really different." And that I took that as a compliment, and because that's how she meant it. That my life was, I was responding to life differently than I had in the past. Like I said, lifelong Christian, pastor, and I'm a pretty good guy, right? But even through that experience of being immersed in a learning community like this, where I began to practice following Jesus in more concrete ways, it was life-changing and continues to be. So what I was wanting to do is to see if I could find a volunteer out of the group here to come up and to teach the up in and out. Do you remember this enough? Unfortunately, it's been a few weeks. Lisa, I see you shaking your head.
Yes.
Do you?
I learned in confirmation, so I've got double duty.
Okay, so you want to come up and teach us?
I always like this.
So up is visiting your father and spending time in prayer and just really talking to God. Then bringing the message and whatever you've talked to God about, bringing that down to in, and in would be like disciples or like your group of people, and really sharing kind of what you learned with God with them, and hopefully that they can then go share what you're teaching and and keep learning. And then you move to out, which is bringing that message out into the world. And then since all of this gets exhausting, you need to go back up to God to take a moment.
Awesome. Very good. So, when we look at the life of Jesus, that's what he did, right? He'd go off and pray and spend a whole night in prayer with his Heavenly Father. Because